What's up, party people in Packet Land? Nice to see you all. It is February 25th, top of the morning or bottom of the evening to you.
Yeah, nice to be here with you. I was running a little bit late. Had to start your day watching your dog take a dump. Nice way to start the day. But yeah, we got some.
Stay humble, King.
Yeah, stay humble.
You got that shit.
Everybody's got to do it, you know.
Everybody.
Yeah, but obviously been a very progressive week in Packet Land, and yeah, a lot of good progress was had this week. Some ups, some downs, and it's only Wednesday. So
Yeah, well, it was interesting to watch the markets last night leading up to the State of the Union.
yeah,
Crypto got a nice little pump, and then it kind of did a dump after that.
no, I think it just held.
Yeah,
I think we held. I think it.
got a little bit of a rally. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, actually a serious rally, $5,000, 10% rally.
Yeah, definitely a green boner to start your day.
Yeah,
Ethereum's over 2.
yeah. No, it's yeah, Ethereum's over 2, almost 20 and a half.
Still a great time to buy.
Yeah, no, literally. But yeah, it's nice to see it kind of lifting up. I don't know what happened besides absolutely nothing. Maybe it was Eric Trump deleting all of his tweets. You know, who knows these days. Maybe somebody wagered heavy that Bitcoin was going to go down to 55,000, so they figured they would just take the poly market contract on the other side of it and then pump the market and cash it in.
Markets probably are happy that there wasn't any bombing in Iran. That's funny.
That is a good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yet.
Yeah. There's it's hanging over everybody, but
yeah, I read a crazy article yesterday about that.
I think people thought there was going to be a shock and awe associated with the State of the Union.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
But it also started rallying an hour before the State of the Union started. Yeah. So crypto is fucking ridiculous like that. Like,
yeah.
It waits for an event. What I thought was going to happen is it was going to do a little fake out, have the exchanges be like, oh, State of the Union, let's get everyone pile in. Oh, it's going to be all great. And then boom, let's pull the fucking rug out.
Yeah, who knows at this point. But, you know, I think we've seen a pretty solid range of that like $1,850, you know, for Ethereum and into this like 2,100, 2,150. That's kind of the range that we're in. And then Bitcoin's kind of in this range of like 60 to, you know, 70, basically. That's kind of like, we're pretty range bound there. Maybe you see it up at 71, 72, and maybe you see it down at, you know, maybe we hit 58 or something. I saw an interesting report about, I think it's the 200-day moving average intersecting with the average price that people have paid for a Bitcoin over some trailing period. And those two lines intersect at like 56,000. And they say that that's, I mean, it's just some conjecture about that, usually denoting where the bottom is in a market kind of downturn. So maybe we see 50, you know, that 56 number. We haven't gone into that. I don't think it made it below 60, did it, Josh? I think it like
no, it bounced off 60.
Yeah. I think I don't even, on my chart, I don't see it went to 60. I see it went to 60.
Well, maybe not this one, but it definitely.
I think the low was like, well, yeah, this one was 63. Let's see, anything. Oh yeah, this one, yeah, bounced off of 60. You're absolutely right. That was on it literally bounced off of 60 on February 5th.
That's where Binance put its buy order.
Yeah.
After dumping the market.
Yeah, and that was just like literally like a wick. Like it's on the hour wick, but it didn't last longer than an hour. So And it's just a wick on the hour candle. So you'd have to zoom in and see. That's probably a, maybe a 5-minute wick at most. But yeah, look, this is where you buy. You just load up. You just put every dollar you got into it. Fuck it. And if it goes lower, you just take everything you have.
Then you realize you put all your dollars in here and you didn't.
And then you go live in a refrigerator box or go live in your car for 1 or 2 years and
Dude,
then
just
you'll
live
be
in your
rich.
car. Don't be a pussy, dude. It'll pay off.
Yeah. Your portfolio will be up in 2 years. You'll be happy about it.
I was thinking about that family. It was back in like 2017 that this family like sold their house.
Oh yeah.
Put it all into Bitcoin and just lived out of a van for like a couple of years.
With kids. They just like traveled.
Yeah, with their 3 kids. And then
Guy's loaded now.
Yeah.
Guy's got a yacht. I think they lived on their no, I think you're right. They either lived out of a van, but I thought that they had like a sailboat or something.
No. It was like a minivan or something. It wasn't even like an RV. It was like they were living out of a van with 3 kids. And then
good investment.
Yeah. I'm sure they have an RV now.
Yeah, big one.
The double wide.
Double wide. So
well, we got some progress on the transaction front, which is nice to see things moving. We actually have a big call today with the lawyers to get lawyers to do lawyer things. So yeah, there's lots of progress. Also been texting with our technology partner about just defining our timelines now that we have kind of clearer timelines, which is nice.
Yeah.
Have a little definition and not just hurry up and wait, which is what we've been doing for the last 4 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to dig into all this stuff and to have some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely very positive. So where we are now, we actually have a closing date now, which we've been waiting for. So the new date is essentially end of next month. So, but obviously the end of this month is next week. So it's coming up quick. It's gonna be a lot of work to get this one, over the finish line, completing the transaction. And then it's a whole new dawn on what we're doing here. And obviously, there's nothing that we're doing that's going to change the sentiment in this crypto market. But I think obviously, as we spoke about last week, it's really straddling between, these traditional markets in the media and entertainment space. And also some of this exciting stuff that we're doing with sports and predictive markets that I think will be an incredible intersection to pack it and hopefully shine a strong light on what the origins of this initiative were and everything like that. Speaking of prediction markets, I think it's just wildly understated that outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, let's say Bitcoin being this like alternative asset class, a lot of people will do what they will with it, whether it be what strategy's doing or what, these lending opportunities have conjured up with regards to using, crypto as collateral, to the ETFs, as a, investment class, and people, putting it in their portfolio, whether they're owning Bitcoin, on their own, private key or with some proxy investment into, another company that's invested into an ETF or whatever, however you're getting exposure to Bitcoin. And then of course, Ethereum with, all the utility within the Ethereum ecosystem. And maybe the FA utility of the XRP story, no one's going to really know if that's real or not, but it sounds good and hopefully it's true, but we'll yet to be seen. But outside of that, there really hasn't been a big winning story around utility for crypto, just in general, just generally speaking, like a real winning story that's like that expands into kind of the zeitgeist of, normal people that aren't crypto degens, except the poly market and these predictive market are really a great story. And I don't think there's enough emphasis that poly market originated from Polygon. And I'm not even sure about that story too much. Do you guys have any insight or anything into the poly market origins?
I think I chat GPT'd it, and it says it
I thought you
was.
did. I just want to make sure I'm saying the right thing. But now, but it's certainly a crypto connected ecosystem, and of course you can load up your Kalshi or Poly Market wallet with your credit card.
Yes, it is.
But the origin is crypto, and
Poly
I think
market built on Polygon blockchain.
Yeah, I just think that that's understated. I don't think they do a good job. Maybe they're just like, from a marketing standpoint, just like, who cares? We're not going to really emphasize it. But I mean, heck, they're, well on their way. I mean, it's definitely a $1 billion enterprise on the revenue side. And again, we're not just talking about valuations here. We're talking about revenue, cash moving across that that ecosystem, and that's pretty freaking impressive. Arguably the biggest thing that's come out of crypto since the ICO era.
Prediction markets are also very, very important. I mean, you can always bet on anything you want. You can bet on dice. You can bet on, roulette wheel. You can bet on sports. That's not important. That doesn't change anything. But when you start betting on world events, then the prediction market becomes a source of truth. So then you can figure out how likely is this to actually happen, because news is all biased. Every news station in the world says whatever the owner of the news station would like them to say. That's
Sure
how it works. And it's even in elections, even the polls are biased. You look at the Republican polls; they always poll good for Republicans. Democrat polls always poll good for Democrats, and it's just because everybody always says what their master wants them to say. And prediction markets are unique in that way because they force a consensus about the likelihood of an event. If you don't agree with that consensus, throw down. And if you think that that's wrong, then go make money off of that.
Yeah.
And that is huge. I mean, I think that Polymarket should start a TV channel just doing news. The news is that this isn't going to happen. Only 15% of the people think it's going to happen. And this has an 85% chance, so it's probably going to happen. And that's it, And
you literally report on what the market is telling you.
Exactly.
You could do it with
that
AI.
would be a much more reliable news source than any of the big channels that are doing news now.
That's funny.
If you're talking about future.
The other thing that's interesting is that Poly market is more valuable than the market cap of Polygon. Poly market has a valuation between 9 to 11 billion, and Polygon market cap is like around 1.2 billion.
Yeah, utility is not the same as market cap. Utility doesn't necessarily drive price. That's proven at this point.
Yeah. Well, UX UI, obviously a CFTC approval. And there's just, it doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt having Don Jr. on your board over at Poly Market. So, and then just having, no litigation from the federal government. That's always helpful. But yeah, this is definitely a real emerging thing. And so we're very interested if, approaching this from the crypto side, right? And getting into the media and entertainment space. And then people could be like, well, what's the relevance? How does this apply to crypto? Well, that's why I'm bringing up the prediction markets, because you're starting to see crypto.com is getting into prediction markets. Fanatics is getting into the prediction markets. Obviously, they have Fanatics Sportsbook. I think all the sportsbook. I just saw that Robinhood's getting into the prediction markets.
Right.
Obviously, Kalshi and Polymarket are into the prediction markets. The NHL just signed a deal with the prediction markets. UFC just signed a deal with the prediction markets. So this is like a huge thing where you're seeing this convergence between prediction markets and sports for sure. When the Academy Awards, or sorry, the Golden Globes were running back in, I think it was January, last month, they included what the prediction markets were saying on who would potentially win certain awards in certain categories, based on the market. And so they showed the prediction market analytics in advance of opening the envelopes to identify the winners. And I just think that's a whole dynamic that's happening. So it's pretty exciting to see. And so what our intent is we've been talking a lot about how we can incorporate prediction markets into a streaming service, essentially. Whether you're watching sports, having the prediction market, information there. And that's actually an incredible idea you just brought up about news, incorporating the prediction markets in. At the very least, it should have like the Chiron that's going across the bottom. Like if it's showing like stock tickers, it's like, oh, the Dow's up, the S&P. It's like, why aren't we showing prediction? Like 17% that the US is going to bomb Iran by Friday. It's just like,
or I mean, if they want to say like, well, the US has positioned some ships here and and then they should say, but the prediction market says it's 15%. So take that as you like. Maybe if you think it's going to happen, go to the prediction market, throw some money down.
Got some insider information, go to the prediction market.
There, during the around the time of the election, there was somebody that was just adamant that Kamala had like a 99% chance of winning. And I was like, where's your poly market stubs? Show me your screenshots. Show me that you put money on this. And he didn't say anything. And then after the election, I was giving him shit. I was like, where's your poly market? How'd you do on the election?
Look, it's a very interesting new development for sure. And I think this will be a thing that we're going to have a lot of fun with. And then, for the people that are, crypto savvy,
build a bridge.
Build a bridge. No, for sure. Hit the nail on the head. It's
funny because Vishnu was talking about building a bridge to Matic back in the day.
Yeah.
That was,
in my opinion, the most fun odds, the places where it's the best to make money off of prediction markets are the ones where people are systemically mispricing the risk. So, like, you're not really looking for something where you know the truth. You're looking for something where you know that these other people think they know what's going to happen a lot better than they do. And then you look for the skew and you just bet against them. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you will come out ahead on average if you can conclude that there's a lot of people there that don't know what they're doing.
No, it's really interesting. Well, I guess the $1 million question is, how many times did JD Vance clap his hands together last night? There was
Yeah.
like an over under.
Do you know
I
what the
didn't
number
watch
is?
it,
No.
but there
No,
was a
there's
guy.
a
He was
prediction on.
literally clapping for literally an hour and
Oh, I
45
want to
minutes
see
out of
who
the
won
2 hour
that.
speech.
That was a great poly market. They had a poly market on how many times he'd clap his hands. Would it be 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100, or 100 over?
It was way over 100, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
because Josh, you were saying it was every time his hand went together.
I think so.
It would have
Yeah,
been
let's see.
thousands. It would have been thousands. I mean, one time he clapped for like 5 minutes straight.
His hands are gonna be sore tomorrow when the junk wears off.
No, that guy. I mean, that guy literally was clapping his hands. Everything. He was. Guy's got issues.
Number of times. There we go. Who
Watch
won?
out! He's gonna be the president. We're all going to jail.
Oh, it was
For saying
80
this.
to it was 80 to 89 times is who won. They won $43,000.
What is it? 80 to what?
It was 80 to 89.
I think it's the number of times. I don't think it's the number of claps. I think it was the number of times that he got up and just like there were a number of things that were said that he clapped about, not for how many claps he would have done. Because yeah, like I said.
Oh yeah,
like
the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The number of times JD Vance stands and claps during Donald Trump's State of the Union. So yeah, it is every time he got up.
Yeah.
So he got
so how many times was it?
80 times. 80 to 89 times.
Wow. 80 to 89
oh
times.
man. I mean, look, it's like ridiculous, but it's funny and it's fun and it's engaging, and that's why you're seeing the success of it, because people are playing with it, So
yeah, like literally
the question is, was he in that market, right? Because I mean, if somebody bets on what I'm gonna do, oh cool, I'll throw down on that, and then I'm gonna clap all day.
Yeah, look, people do it. They look at the market and then they see if it says like this guy's gonna say the word banana, and then you just like at the end actually, who did it?
He was joking. Trevor Noah.
No, I know Trevor Noah did it, but I saw another person do it. I saw there was another person that did a speech, and he at the end of it said, I know exactly what it was. It was Brian Armstrong on the Coinbase earnings call. At the end of the call, he just fired off a bunch of words. At the end, he knew it was on the prediction market. He was like, DeFi, like he just said a bunch of random shit that like was on the prediction market and probably cashed it,
That's great.
Yeah.
I wonder how. I wonder with what point prediction markets are just going to become like just daring people to say stupid shit in public.
For sure. You know what you could do is you could just start, like, whoever's in charge of the prompter, you could just start like throwing words in there under like newscasters and just put it on the market.
Just put like $10,000 on
just for $10,000. It's like he's never gonna say Sasquatch on the morning news, and then you just like type it in. He's like, just what's the Ron Burgundy, just like can't not read the teleprompter.
Yeah. But it's like you just open up these markets that are like 99% that they're not going to happen, and then you throw heavy on them, and then you just cash them. So,
well, I think pretty quickly the markets are going to learn that you can't do anything serious on stuff that people can just make it up, and this is going to be a big problem for sports, because if you're an athlete, and I mean in the past a lot of people have said they throw games and whatever, but now you can funnel money through something that nobody's going to know where the money came from or went. And then you can throw a game and you can cash that out a lot.
Yeah. Look, I think they're on it. There's because the one thing that the flip side of that coin, and I think what people are realizing is like, you can do illegal stuff with sports. The problem is that now that Amazon and Google and have gotten in their AI analytics on these games, they can see variance. Same thing with UFC. Like, it's all the way down to like how many punches are thrown in a fight, how many significant strikes, how many takedown attempts, how much ground control, like all the different details about a fight. And so if there's substantial variance and then a favorite loses, or, you know, you see it just kind of like they're seeing on the data, like, hey, you did not perform. Were you unhealthy? You know, and then it's like, you'll never fight in the UFC again. And Dana White has been purging people, and they've caught a bunch of people. And now he's just referring people straight to the FBI, and he's made it very public. He's like, look, you're going to be talking to FBI. And there's now been huge upheaval in Major League Baseball last year. The bet that people were futzing with was first pitch striker ball. And because that's like such a small little thing, who's paying attention to the first pitch being a striker, a ball? But what was happening is these guys were purposely throwing balls and spiking the ball like 5 feet before the plate. You're a major league pitcher, you can't get the ball to the plate. And they started seeing, and then they were seeing that people were putting $10,000 on that this guy's going to throw a ball, and then the ball doesn't even make it to the catcher. You're in trouble. You're getting referred to the FBI. And like 4 or 5 huge names last year, like literally within the last 6 months, got suspended for that kind of bullshit. And now you can go watch. There's a couple of videos online where they show these guys throwing the ball. You're like, no, like you would never throw the ball like that, you know? So
I used to know a guy, and his father was like a investigator, and he investigated for cheating in horse racing. And you know, he couldn't tell any of his stories until like a certain number of years, and then he went with the family and showed him, you know, his notebooks and said, you know, now it's legal to talk about it. What he told me was that if you are betting on horses, you are throwing your money away, because there is so many mafia stuff going on with those horses in order to take the money out the back door, that anybody who is not part of the scam is the mark. It's just that simple. Right. And this was the 70s when this stuff was going on. So that's why I won't go anywhere near anything with sports. Only world events, only things that the betting market is certainly not going to be the reason why it goes one way or the other. It's way too important for that.
Yeah. Look, it's a great point. I think that there's a lot of opportunity.
Just like, know that they're not going to be like, hey, we got to bomb Iran just because, dude, I got a couple mil on it, and dude, we just got to fucking fire just one shot, dude.
Yeah, we got to go.
Just get my rent, dude. I put it all on.
Look, look, I'll tell you right now, Trump ain't, if this is a bluff about Iran, it's a big bluff. He's spending a lot of money on this bluff. We've moved 150 warplanes all throughout Europe, 60 warplanes in Jordan. Everything's sitting right outside of the tactical range limit of their major munitions. So it's like, yeah, it's very strategic. And then like all of our major, what is it? Like 2 of our most major aircraft carriers, or 3 of them, are sitting out there. So yeah, they're not, this ain't like, hey, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it's like ready for major kinetic action. If they want to do it, you can see he ain't bluffing about what he's capable
of. But I thought we already destroyed. It was a perfect shot where we destroyed their nuclear capabilities and blew them into
obliterated.
We obliterated it.
Completely obliterated.
Total obliteration. Oh, but now we need to fucking get back. Anyways, we
digress.
digress.
So back to prediction markets. So this is where I think Where I think there's unbelievable opportunity. It was actually a really cool. It'll stick with us forever. Opened my eyes to the potential, because like predictive markets, as to Caleb's point, it's world events, and sports. That's kind of where it's like thriving right now. And then like random shit, like what words is this person going to use in a speech? Like we're seeing those type of
channels on this.
Doing the
multiple channels, and it's just incorporating the analytics into things just naturally. But here's what I was going to say, where I think it gets even more interesting, is where it gets incorporated into like more basic programming. Like, and what I mean by that is like like what you were mentioning, news, like that's just basic programming. Like it should be incorporated there. That's a natural fit for it. But I also think just average content creators, major content creators, whether it be big ones like the Mr. Beast of the world, or small ones like just like small time influencers that have a very dedicated audience, that if they're watching some content on Instagram or YouTube or on CTV, you can incorporate prediction markets so that fans or audience can get involved. And it's very similar to like, was it Dancing with the Stars, or what was the one that that people would, The Voice, where people would like literally watch the show and then vote, right? And they would like spend a couple bucks on their phone to place their vote about who should win. And that was like a way that people would be watching TV and engaging and actually influencing the outcome of the of the show based on audience feedback. So I think that you can now incorporate that more organically and a lot easier than like what The Voice had to do, the infrastructure for a show of that size on cable TV. I think that everyday people can more easily incorporate that. It's kind of like voting, Caleb. It's like the whole thing that you did with Packeterium, in voting and making it so the audience can get involved, is now being organically brought into a replicable model using a digital wallet, that bridges between fiat and crypto. Like, I think this is just so cool to get it incorporated into CTV, in particular, streaming entertainment. So this is, I think, where, for our standpoint, coming at this entertainment space from all the work we've done in the crypto side of things for the last 6, 7, 8 years, and much longer for you, it really can be an awesome intersection, and now accessing just like a much larger audience, so it's pretty
something that is underappreciated. The value of it is betting on the weather. And the reason is not because it's fun to bet on the weather,
it's true,
but because the person who can take the other side of that bet is a farmer that needs to insure their crops.
Right.
So you can have like really professional companies that are doing, models and stuff, whatever they do, in order to try to figure out how much rain you're going to get this season. And then they're able to price what becomes rain insurance.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Actually, that's another place where it should be, is the weather channel. Like, here's the, it's like, there's so many places that prediction markets just belong as a little logo bug. Like, just like you put the temperature on the screen, it's like, yeah, and here's the percentage. I look at it. By the way, we look at percentages all day long. Like, if you open up the weather app on your iPhone, it'll say, yeah, there's a 15% chance of rain over the next 30 minutes. Like, and then sometimes it just doesn't rain, but at least made you remember to potentially bring your raincoat, because it might rain in the next 15 minutes, might not. But
if you had money on that bet, then you could have cashed.
Exactly. I mean, if they're saying 15% chance of rain, and that it's going to rain, because what those clouds are like.
Yeah.
Because you can go in there and take the positive side of that and cash out on it. And maybe you just end up with a future where weather is actually, there's somebody presenting the weather, but the actual meteorologists that are coming up with it, those are just random people in their houses that have either good mental models or good computer models.
Yeah.
And these voodoo witch doctors, they're gonna just be cashing, dude, because they're like, I knew it in my bones. I could feel the
problem
find
is
out if they really know it in their bones.
Yeah. The problem is that local is like really being able to validate, verify on, for things that are happening in a local area. And, especially with AI and, the fact that you can cheat a lot of stuff. But
that's what trips me out. I mean, somebody had to.
This is actually a solved problem. You've got like secure weather stations, like a weather station up on a pole, and 3 of them have to agree that the rain happened and so
Sure.
on. And it's, you can't just spray it with a hose. That's not gonna work.
But somebody had to go count how many times JD Vance stood up and clapped. So that was probably a more manual process.
Yeah, we wagered on that. It was actually a fake that Mark Wahlberg's daughter told a bunch of people at her university that her dad was going to the Super Bowl, and they in a prediction market popped up that they all wagered that he was going to be there, and it kind of then got rumored and spread like wildfire, and a bunch of people bet on the yes side of that. And then it took them like 4 days after the Super Bowl to actually confirm that he wasn't there. There were so many rumors, like so many articles. There were even articles that said he was there, but there was no video or photo evidence that he was there. And it took them 4 days to resolve the market. At one point, even the market went like 60, 70%.
I bet on it. I should have cashed.
And you could have cashed out. I even told Josh, you were up on that trade. And I was like, just cash it. He was like, well, if it's confirmed, I make $70. I was like, just cash it. You're going to make $50 on a $5 bet, or what was it, $10?
Yeah.
And then you didn't cash it. And then would you cash out at like $2?
Yeah, I lost $8 on that one, dude.
Yeah.
Had to sell my car.
$10 on it. You could have 5x. I told you to cash out. You didn't cash out to make an extra $20.
Not greedy, dude. Crypto, just this classic gambler's struggle.
It's going up further.
We're gonna fucking cash, dude.
We're going to $1 million Bitcoin. It's like, no, just cash out at 100. No, we're going to $1 million. Well, now you're at 60, dude. How's that feel?
It doesn't feel good. All right, cool. Well, let's leave it on that high note of losing all my money on Mark Wahlberg. Hopefully he'll make it up to us and we can make a channel with him. Like, look, bro, you're indebted to me now, dude.
Yeah,
I lost $8 on you. You owe me a channel.
Give me $8. No, I think this will be really fun. Actually, if you're watching this, jump over into the chat and give us your best idea of what kind of prediction market could be incorporated into a CTV channel. We talked about weather, we talked about news, we talked about sports. Let us know if we're missing anything. But this will be fun. I think there will be a lot of different ways that we can incorporate the audience and the community into, the type of content, channels, and things that get created across this platform. Obviously, as we mentioned before, so it'll be very newsworthy once we, complete this deal. The profile should increase accordingly. But yeah, it'd be great to hear from the community on what any good ideas may be out there.
Yeah. And yeah, it also is true that we were talking about building a bridge. I totally kind of forgot that you don't really even need to build a bridge, because from base to Polygon is actually a pretty easy swap to do. You can just,
I'm not even sure it's true, but yeah, you're right on that. You're right on that. But I mean, are people even loading up their Polygon? I mean, their Polymarket wallets with?
You don't have to. You don't have to, but you could take your packet, turn it, go USDC to Polygon, USDC back to packet, and go and play that game.
Yeah, I think you need a little Polygon just to keep the wallet oiled.
You do, but not very much. It's like fractions of a penny to move money on
Yeah,
Polygon.
Polygon is even, I think, want to say even like lower than base.
Yeah, it's nominal.
It's
Um,
it's nothing.
All right. Thanks
So,
for tuning in.
all right, guys.
Keep-
Yep. See you on the next one.